Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends, and happy Monday and the start of a brand new week in the game. Now, there's a couple of things that we have ongoing right now. Not a whole lot that's that exciting. However, as you can see in the portal there, that we do have a summon pool event that just kickstarted for people who want to spend some money on some Prism shards. But if you don't, and you want to go for the free-to-play Prism shard, which is something that I honestly recommend for most players, then that's something that you're going to want to hoard your energy for tomorrow. The event is now known. What we're going to have to do to be able to do that. At first, I thought it was going to be like the Soul Chase tournament, because that is also ongoing starting tomorrow as well, but that is not the case, and we already have a Gear Ascension tournament that's ongoing right now as well. We'll talk about the event that you have to save your energy for to do tomorrow. Before we get started with the rest of the video, though, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right to get the legendary Orc Artak, as well as Farrakhan the Fat, Fanax Cried in the blue at 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget about Palops the Victor, who we're going to be talking about later, because he is in the Summon Pool event. You just got to use the promo code RAID7 within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. It's actually a pretty good pool, and we're going to talk about this more in the second half of the video. I'm going to be breaking down some of the more important characters in here, but one worthy of note, while not a headliner, is Arya the Golden Hope. She is a very powerful character, and she is, I'm pretty sure, still new from this last update, so that character is available here. We've had Folan from the previous fusion, Pelagus the Wave Walker, not a big fan, from one of the previous updates, Lord Entertainer Fabian, Pelps the Victor, Duchess Lilitu, Nekmothar, who's still really good, Cheshire Cat, who's still a really strong nuker as well. So some pretty good characters in here, and honestly, the Epics pool is really good too. We have Farrakhan the Fat, we have Deacon Armstrong, we have Fenix, we have Stonebound Thisbe, and Lionsguard Galatea, if you want to kind of kickstart yourself on... Oh, also Enda Moonbeam, who is one of the Epics for Lady Mikage. Now, what are you going to have to do? Well, turns out that there is going to be a Fire Knight turn attack. Turn attack, this is important, because normally turn attacks don't require as much energy as, say, regular dungeon. Usually. I'm going to say this usually. I don't know what the threshold is going to be, and also I'm account level 100 now, so I'm expecting something to be a bit rough. Using teams comprised of champions from a single faction in each battle. Now, it is not suggesting, at least here, that it has to be, say, they're specifying a faction. I think you get to choose, of your choosing, 5 characters from a single faction to do Fire Knight, and do that the fastest you can. Now, again, I don't know how much this is going to cost, what the milestone is going to look like, but if that's the case, it doesn't seem that bad. There's a few things that, and I'm going to do a video more on that tomorrow, because I think it's important to note, some ways that you can do this a little bit easier. And this is going to really depend on what characters you have available to you, of course. I'm just going to say, from the Epic side of things, actually, speaking of Farrakhan the Fat, if you have Farrakhan the Fat, he is obviously one of the best characters to do Fire Knight with, because of his team-up attack. This is like, almost, I wouldn't say it's required, but it's definitely very helpful to have team attack champions for this. Can you actually filter by team attack? I'm not sure. I've never actually looked. Other effects. Positive effects. Ally attack? I get. Is there a team attack? No, it's just ally attack, right? So, okay. Obviously, of the epics, Farrakhan the Fat is one of the better ones. However, Morag Bronzelock of the Dwarves faction is pretty good too. Right? It's not a full-up team attack, but it is 2 random allies, so it's pretty nice. So if you wanted to structure your team around either the Barbarians faction or the Dwarves faction, that could be useful. Now, you're not going to be able to spam turtles, because they're all different factions, right, for people who have turtles. So that's something that you're going to have to keep in mind when you're doing team-up attacks and things like that, which faction that you're going to be using. That's kind of your backbone of that, if you will. Now, you don't even need team-up attack to clear Fire Knight. It depends on what stage that you're running in order to do that. You can do this with all sorts of other characters. Having some speed-up characters, for example, is very helpful. Having characters that have counter-attack on your entire team can also be very helpful as well. Now, there's not a lot of characters that have like full-on AoE counterattack on the team. There's not a lot. Like Clayzag Keyhulk is probably one of the better ones that can do that. I believe, what's his name? The guy from the Ogren faction that I don't actually have here in my current, he's my reserve vault, right? Helm Split and Skull Crusher. This guy right? But then you'd be doing this based on Ogre and Tribes. This guy has AoE counterattack. This is very powerful against Fire Knight as well because it also makes him unkillable too. So if you wanted to build your team around that, keep that in mind. We're going to be doing a bigger video though tomorrow as far as maybe some things that you could keep in mind as I run mine. I'm probably going to be going the Dwarfs direction because that is one of my best factions that I have, but that wasn't going to be for everyone. Like I actually got really lucky that I happened to have, what's his name? Admiral Blacktusk. Again, not something everyone's going to have. He's the faction unity champion of Dwarves. He has an ally assist, team up attack, so I'm going to be utilizing this. I don't actually have I don't have scrolls in that, but that's fine. I think just using it one time would get me ahead as well. And keep in mind that you can just do this on, normal Fire Knight. Doesn't have to be Fire Knight hard or anything like that. So, and if you are doing this at a lower difficulty, it is going to take you a little bit more energy. So you have a day, save up some energy that you have. If you have any Doom Tower, any Curse of City, any other things sitting around that you can scrounge up some energy, some pots, just sitting in your inbox, that's what you're going to want to do. I've been hoarding my energy over the weekend. Believe it or not, you can actually hoard quite a bit of additional energy every single day if you're not really chasing anything at the moment. And I was not. Right? I cleared my Varco's Path event with shards, and over the weekend I honestly just took some time off a little bit. I wasn't very hardcore into anything. I wasn't spending on anything. So I just let my energy build up. There's a pretty easy way to do that, honestly. Just doing your dailies. You get the couple of energy pots from your the classic arena and things like this as well. Sometimes the weeklies, you get 2 for the upgrade to champion to rank 4 and the ascension. That's 2 pots there. All the additional energy that you get out of like advanced, all of this just stacks up into excess. And if you have any nodes on Grim Forest, on Doom Tower, on Cursed City, those are all additional ways that you can stack up extra energy and just hoard this, right? Until the next big thing that you want to spend it on. And that's what I'm doing right now. We have a bit of I think, a low-key week this week because I think it's going to be next week that we're going to be starting on the late July into August fusion event. So that's something that I would be considering saving your energy for. That most likely is going to be a hybrid fusion event, but I don't know that for certain. But either way, something that you want to consider as to holding on to your resources for. I'm not doing a whole lot right now. I guess I have my Grim Forest still to run. Actually, I already burned all my 30 energy for that. And just kind of playing a little bit less actually this week, which is kind of nice. To be honest, I'm going to be finishing up my coalition event pretty soon. I just need to get a little bit more. I'm at 9660, so I just need to clear this a little bit more and then probably finish my live arena battles, and that's going to be it. I still have another week to finish this, so I just need to do those live arenas, and I should be done for those 5-star basalt, and that's, I guess, the only reward left that I have to claim. Now, let's talk about the summon pool event because of the characters that are actually in this. I am thinking of dropping some money on it, but I'm not entirely sure. So what I'm expecting to come for Friday, a champion chase for Raya, because she's the only character that has not had a release. I'm going to go like this because it's probably going to be a #1 leaderboard on the champion chase on Friday that is going to reward Raya. Not for any particular event that we have running. It's just going to be a whale kraken fest where you're going to summon as many as you want to get Raya. And I think that's what's going to happen on Friday as we kind of wind down on this Web of Corruption event. Okay. Now, as far as the characters in here, we have Folin, which is the recent fusion character. We have one of the newer characters here from the update, Arya, the Golden Hope. Now, I do think that she's kind of interesting because she's all about spirit characters. 25% speed for spirit allies. That's interesting. Before the start of each turn, enemy's turn, decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 5%. So if one enemy takes a turn, everyone else on their team is going to get a -5% turn meter. So that's kind of interesting, kind of punishes them a little bit. Does not work against bosses and their minions. Also, enemy ignore defenses against her is decreased by 50%. So she takes hits pretty well. And as a defense champion, she probably also smacks pretty hard too. AoE stealing all buffs from all enemies. And also True Fear and block passive skills AoE. I've been looking at this character because I think that this is pretty nuts. She can steal all the buffs, but AoE block passives is pretty big. I have Arden the White, the mythical from the Barbarians faction, and he does a single target block passive skills. Now it does a lot of damage and stuff like that, but AoE block passes, if they don't have debuff, if you steal all those buffs and you place an AoE block passive skills and True Fear, I mean, that's pretty brutal. Attack all enemies before attacking. It can transfer all debuffs from all allies to all enemies. Fortify and strengthen for 2 turns. Pretty interesting. On a cooldown of 3, like, she might have some more validity beyond just PvP as well. I don't know. This is some pretty interesting mechanics here. And then can do a 100% heal reduction. Also as a passive, activate the skill on an enemy whenever their HP drops below 50%. And it is a protected heal reduction skill. Okay? Whenever this skill is activated in this way, it occurs once per turn. So, can this be... It does say... Does this say... No, this is an enemy. Could this be used on Amius? But you can't use Argonites on Amius, can you? So that's... Oh my god. This could have been really, really good. Right? Unless they update Cursed City to include Argonites, because protected heal reduction is crazy. As far as other characters go, I'm not a big fan of Pelagus the Wavewalker from Argonites. Okay, right? But it's a single target. Block pass is really not so great compared to Arya. Steals turn meter, that's fine. 28% arena, speed aura, ensnare is okay. It does remove all buffs, and it does a speed debuff and a weaken debuff. 3-hit A1. It's okay. I don't think he's that amazing, but there is Fabian in here, Lord Entertainer Fabian. Amazing, even still in the current PvP meta. We have Pelops the Victor, who is amazing in PvE. He's really great, and he's going to help you also with the Magma Shield if you want to improve your damage more on the Titus Wixwell combos. Duchess Lilitu, still a really amazing support character, has Veil and AoE Revive and all these cleanse and block deep. Actually, it's not a cleanse, sorry, my bad. I don't have Duchess Lilitu. I always get jealous when other people have Duchess Lilitu pull it. My clan pulled lots of her, and I have 0. Necmo Thar, real amazing support debuffer here as well. It does a speed up boss, but this particularly AoE, decreased speed, and leech. 5% turn meter. Every time an enemy, a debuff on an enemy is removed, transferred, or expires. Speed up, turn meter fill, extra turn skill. I love extra turn skills. And AoE A1 with decreased attack. Necmothar is still a really good support character. And some of these other ones are... Actually, I don't know. Did Septimus get a rework? I don't know if he did or not. I can't remember. There's a bunch of weird Bannerlord champions that are like OG that I don't remember if they actually got... I'm assuming not, because he only has 2 skills here and a passive. Was not a big fan of Rashi the Riptide personally. I'm not a big fan of Uzula the Jade. However, the rest of them are still really good, and I would be very interested in landing Arya the Golden Hope. And I don't think there's any other way of getting her other than, hoping for some shard luck, right? But she looks really, really nice. There's also some really good purples here for this Prism pool, including Enda Moonbeam, who was my last... I'm going to say this till the end of days. Was my last Lady Mikage fusion that I waited 8 months to get. Gory, who I have a personal hatred for because I pull way too many of them. Not a good champion. But anyways, Farrakhan the Fat, Deacon Armstrong, Fenix, Lionsguard Galatea, who I talked about in a Argonites video, Stonebound Thisbe, who if you didn't manage to get a chance, great character there for Hydra, Hex, and Block buffs combined is crazy. And Balf the Rancid for a buff extension. Duration of all buffs by +1. So some really good purples in this shard too. So when the free-to-play event goes live, I will be farming this up. It's probably going to cost you about 3,000 energy, but if you start saving now and you start waiting for that event, now is a good time to start hoarding. And also, if you're not interested in it, I do recommend it because it's a much more condensed version of a Sacred Shard. And there's been lots of times where people are like, oh my god, even on one of them, you can get lucky. I know it's only 6%, but it's better than 1%. Like, it is still a pretty decent chance that you could walk away with something great for the cost of 3,000 energy. That's just how I look at it. If you start saving now, you will probably be able to do these events when it goes live. We'll talk about that more when it becomes apparent. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Don't forget to use the QR code in the top right to get the legendary Orc Artak, Farrakhan the Fat, Fenix, and Cryodan the Blue. And also, speaking of Spirit Champions, Pelops the Victor, and you got to use the promo code RAID7 on a brand new or alt account within the first 48 hours. That's it for me, everyone. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you all in the next one.
And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.